Welcome to another episode of the Intentional Health for Women podcast. I'm your host, Garrett GQ Query, and I'm joined by a good friend, colleague, and he's been around my life for a really long time. Fun fact, he was the gym manager of Anytime Fitness when I was 22 years old and began to take my health and fitness journey a little bit more serious.
I forgot about that.
Really don't know how much detail that I've gone into on the podcast. I had gastric bypass at the age of 19 and started working out at a Snap Fitness, a very quiet, very small spot that was like close to my apartment, that was like way on the edge of town in our hometown. Lifted there alone for probably the better part of like 18 months and then kind of like bounced around to a couple gyms. And then, at about 22 years old was when I joined Anytime Fitness and Jeff was the club manager. How did you become a club manager of an Anytime Fitness?
So funny you say that, because I completely forgot that you were a member there. I remember Jordan was. Yep. I had forgotten this until you mentioned it, but now I remember you coming in for that very first time and meeting me for the very first time. And I think Jordan might have introduced us.
Yeah.
I honestly don't remember how I became a manager there. I think that the area manager had came in with the owners to Lucky's several times, and they were always, drinking beer. Weird, right? And they were always just a lot of fun. And I always remember talking with them, and they had came in so many times, and finally they're like, well, looks like you're in pretty good shape. Do you work out? I'm like, yeah, kind of, whatever. And so they finally, I think she messaged me on Facebook or something and asked me if I'd be interested in a position. I was like, yeah, of course. I'd love to work at a gym.
Yeah.
And yeah, then the rest is history. So I ended up working there. I was still bartending at Lucky's. And then I also worked at UPS. I worked like the morning shift, like the early morning shift. And I went to school. Yeah, it was a lot. It was so much. There was at one point I felt like complete trash. I don't remember which one. Oh yeah, I quit UPS because I had worked there before. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. And I was like, I'm going to keep the bar job and then the gym job.
Right.
Because the Lucky's was very flexible with my schedule at Anytime Fitness. So that's how I got that job. And then, yeah, the rest is history.
Yeah. And then from there, like I remember, so like as I was a member, shortly within that time frame, you kind of recommitted to fitness, or
Yep.
I don't even know if I want to say like recommitted so much as like you just continued to evolve in your fitness journey, right? Like you went from a casual lifter to you committed to competing for the first time.
Yeah. I really didn't lift much. I mean, I lifted I was a member in Anytime Fitness, and I really didn't have any goals. I literally just went to bodybuilding.com, looked up some stuff to work out with. That's what I did. And then, yes, while I worked there, that's when I really was like, hey, I want to do this competing thing. I think this looks like a lot of fun.
Yep.
So yeah, that's exactly when that started.
So this is the Intentional Health for Women podcast. Let's talk about that a little bit as far as like being casual, bodybuilding.com.
Yep.
Looking back, like realistically, how many days a week are you working out?
Maybe like 4 or 5. But if I would miss, I'd be completely okay with it, because I would either miss because I was hungover, or I just made a piss poor excuse on why I didn't want to drive to the gym. So there was no intention behind it.
Yeah.
There was nothing. It was just, I just want to go to the gym because I want to go to the gym and I want muscles.
Yeah.
There wasn't a deep why.
Yeah. And if we stack up the cards, like over the course of the year, realistically, you probably lifted like 3 to 4 days a week.
Honestly. Yeah.
Yeah. Like with some intent.
And zero cardio. And I ate kind of what I wanted to. I actually ate a lot of food. So I'm like, well, I got to bulk. I got to get big. I'm like, I got to eat more. And I wasn't really overweight by any means.
No.
I mean, I would call myself skinny fat back then, but I had no shape and didn't really appreciate my body for what I saw in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Just wasn't intentional. But I started. I started something because I knew that I wanted to feel better about myself.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you were track athlete, wrestled, football, right?
No wrestling,
No wrestling.
Football for a little bit.
Yep.
But yes, you're right. I was in track,
Mm-hmm.
and then I did play basketball for a certain amount of time in Park Rapids. But then I went to DL, and they just never played me. And they just played their favorite guys. It was all the kids that like their dads were either parents or that were teachers or worked within the school administration.
Mm-hmm.
So they played them, and So my 11th grade year, I quit basketball because I was just like, I didn't want to sit on the bench.
Yeah.
I was practicing to sit on the bench and I didn't want to do that.
Yeah. So. And so like overall, like you never really struggled with weight, like
never
weight issues or anything like that.
Just skinny. Skinny, and I was bullied. So that was a big thing of why I got into competing, is like I just wanted to be bigger, not to beat kids up, but just like I wanted to be bigger so that I could walk into a room and be like, wow, that guy takes care of himself. He's a bigger dude. I'm not going to mess with him. I think that's
when we look at, so for those of you who don't know, we haven't quite got there yet, but on this topic is like, Jeff is a fellow online coach.
Mm-hmm.
We've both been in this industry, honestly, for realistically, probably about the exact same amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
And he has coached and served many women over the course of his, career.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can all agree that, women are kind of getting into the gym for a lot of those same reasons. Not
100%.
Not necessarily the reason of like men like trying to avoid getting beaten up or being taken more seriously.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Being more confident and comfortable in our skin.
Mm-hmm.
Being more, especially for women, right? Like that's huge. Like being able to be comfortable taking your clothes off, being able to be comfortable in a bikini. Like those are all things that, as coaches to women that we hear regularly. What is the goal? Even now, I have a lot of females that come to me. They don't necessarily come with a scale goal so much as they are like, I just want to feel good in my clothes. I want to feel good with the size tag on my clothes, and I want to feel good in a bikini or a swimsuit.
Yep.
Right. Like how often do we see that and hear that?
So much.
Right.
I mean, well, actually I say so much, but then there's also a big part of women that are like, I just want to lose weight and tone. And if you are that woman, I'm going to tell you that goal is never going to get you anywhere.
Yeah.
You need to go deeper.
Yeah.
You need to like ask yourself, like, how do you feel in your skin right now? Right. How do you feel when you are naked looking at yourself in the mirror? Mm-hmm. How do you feel in a bikini? She's either a client or was a potential prospect. No, she was a client. And she put her swimsuit on for the first time. And she's like 40 some years old. She's like, I put a 2-piece swimsuit on for the very first time this last year. I'm like, wow. So yeah, it was like standing in front of 3,000 people. She had never done it before, and that was like a huge hurdle for her. So yeah, I mean, it's probably 50-50, but that's a good reason on why you should go into the gym,
right?
Is to feel and look better in your clothes. Mm-hmm. You feel like you are actually going to be wanted. There's nothing worse than being in your skin and feeling gross or feeling disgusted or feeling embarrassed, because if most of the women on here, probably most of them either are in a relationship or want to be in a relationship, there's nothing worse than having your clothes off, being in front of your partner and not enjoying your body. Like you can't have that experience, that intimate experience with your partner if you're not loving your body.
It changes the experience completely.
100%.
It makes it very enjoyable.
Yeah.
And the thing of it is like the unique advantage that we do have to being men and in speaking to women is like, I know from personal experience, like a lot of times, like a lot of women's insecurities, like we as men could care less.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're not paying attention to what like you're way more ruthless about your physique than we ever will be.
100%.
Like we will love and cherish a lot of the things that you hate and we don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But what we do care about is your comfortableness and confidence. And that changes the whole dynamic of our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we're able to come home, tell you, hey, get ready, it's date night. Mm-hmm. And you can get ready relatively quickly. You can pick out an outfit. It's not, oh my God, I hate myself in these outfits. I have no clothes. Like that's a really fast way to ruin date night.
That's literally my wife does that. My wife does that. My wife's a beautiful, beautiful woman,
mm-hmm.
you know, but it's funny you say, I have no clothes. What is it with women and saying I have no clothes when they have 1,000 garments in their closet? Yeah. Literally, my wife had friends come over this last weekend. She's like, I'm going to buy a new dress. I'm like, do you buy a new dress every time friends come? Yeah. She's like, well, I don't have anything. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Anyways, got sidetracked there. But my wife's been on a postpartum journey, and that when they get ready for date night, that's like a very sacred time for them.
Yeah.
Because they're like, okay, date night. I'm going to go out. I'm going to enjoy dinner with my husband or my boyfriend or whomever. I'm going to do this. I'm going to come home. I'm going to make love. So they're like, women, like they put together this whole plan inside of that. They don't just think, oh, I'm going to dinner. No, I believe that they put together this whole night because women are overthinkers. They are. Mm-hmm. They overthink everything. They worry about everything, which is okay. That's all right. People do that. But they put together this whole thing that's going to happen. And then they're like, God, what am I going to wear that I'm going to feel special in? You know, that I'm going to feel sexy in.
And so instead, I think, with where this conversation is kind of going, like the proposition is like, let's start with you and focus on that. And what can we do to have you feeling better, more confident and comfortable in your skin day to day?
And set a goal.
So that way the clothing is exactly what it is. It's an accessory. It's a added value to how you already look and how you already feel in your own skin.
Absolutely.
What would you say is like the top 3 things that like, because this is now going on, we're talking about the beginning of when we met is 12 years ago.
Yep. Wow. Over a decade. That's wild. We are old as shit.
And so 12 years ago, right, we met. You took the next step in your journey, bodybuilding, and started there, right? And, for me, it was just getting more committed, more consistent in the gym, training harder, continuing like my weight loss journey, right? At that point, I had already lost 180 pounds, but it was time to continue to refine it, gain muscle, not just be a bag of skin and bones. What would you say is like the top 3 things for you that like have changed since taking that next evolution?
Consistency, which is actually I'll dive into these first. Consistency. And this is going to lead into the next one, is doing the boring work over and over again.
Yep.
And believing in myself.
Yeah.
Do you want me to break those down and talk about it?
Yeah.
Okay. So the consistency thing, there is an epidemic of lack of consistency.
100%.
That's the thing. All these diet plans, all these workout plans, like they all work. You could literally do them forever and they're always going to work.
Yeah.
Always. But you guys that are listening to this, you always want a quick fix. You want this quick thing.
Want the red pill?
Find something that you can do that you enjoy for the rest of your life.
On that note, Jeff, what do you eat for breakfast?
The same thing I've been eating for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Eggs. No, let me ask you, what do I eat for breakfast?
He eats it's like 1 to 2 eggs, like a cup of egg whites, oatmeal, berries. I think sometimes you throw some peanut butter. If it's not peanut butter, maybe PB Fit.
Nailed it. Yeah.
1 to 200 grams of fruit.
100%. 100%. That's exactly what I eat. Yes.
And ketchup.
It's organic. Thank you. So that's how consistent I am. He knows what I've been eating for the last 10 years.
Yep.
Okay. Now I'm not eating whole eggs. I eat them. I wait till later at night, but he's 100% right.
Yep.
I ate 300 grams of egg whites, 60 grams of oats, 100 grams of berries with some cinnamon, and that's it. I've been eating that same breakfast for 10 years.
Yep.
Okay, so consistency is like just find something you love, find meals that you love, find workouts that you love. Obviously, you're not going to want to do the same workouts for like a decade. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but do the same workouts for like 12 weeks or 24 weeks.
Yeah.
And just constantly learn how to progressive overload. And if you don't know what progressive overload is, like go look it up. Just constantly trying to PR certain things because you can do that. Mm-hmm. And just find things, walking, like that's something you can do every single day. Yep. Okay. Drinking a certain amount of water. You can do that every single day. Yeah. So water, working out, eating the same meals or having like a different, obviously a couple different menu items for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but just like learning how to do that. Be consistent in things that you love. If you are currently doing something, like if you're doing carnivore or keto or fasting or whatever, if you're doing something right now and you do not love it, you need to stop doing it. And you need to find something that you love doing and do it consistently because that's what will get you in shape and that's what will keep you in shape. Mm-hmm. Okay, there's consistency. The second thing, what was the second thing? Well, let's just talk about belief. I'm going to talk about belief first. I have believed ever since I started competing, I've believed that I could compete at a high level.
Yeah.
I remember hanging a picture of, I said this the other day on one of my lives. I remember hanging a picture of Matt Acton up above my office computer. He literally was in trunks and had a shirt. He was ripped. I was like, I'm going to get like that. And then I'm going to get better than that.
Yep.
There's so many people that just don't believe in themselves. They do this, or they're really overweight, or they don't believe that they can get into a size medium, or they don't believe they can be a size this. They don't believe that they can lose this amount of weight because they step on the scale and they see the scale went up 2 pounds and they're just like, oh, this is never going to work for me. Right. If you have that mentality, you will never get anywhere. I promise you that. And you will actually invite more bullshit into your life that will allow you not to get to your goal. You can't do that. You have to believe in yourself. You have, no matter how hard it is or matter what it is that you're going through, you literally just have to have the belief. Mm-hmm. You have to act as if you are there already. Yeah. And if you continuously do that and you constantly see the woman that you want to be and you act as if you already are that woman, you eat as if you already are that woman, you work out and you walk as if you are already are that woman, you will slowly start to formulate this new version of yourself. Now, even with clothes, like go buy clothes that you want to fit into. Even if they don't fit you right now, just put them in your closet and just wait for them. And tell yourself, I'm going to wear these one day. Yeah. I'm going to wear these and I'm going to throw these oversized clothing away. I'm going to go give these away to a local donation center. Yeah. That's what I'm going to do. So I've always had belief. There's been so many times that I've gone through periods of my life where there's, I've been broke, I've been divorced, I've been in jail, I've stolen money, I've gotten myself into these really dark holes. But I've always believed in when I was in these holes, I'm like, I know I can get out of this. I know I don't like what I'm doing. I know that I need to fix on the like what got me here today. But I know that I'm not going to stay this person. I know that I'm going to be a better version. And today, to this day, I am so proud of the man that I've become. And I'm so proud of the husband that I've become and the dad that I've become because I fully believed in myself.
That brings up a topic that actually, like, this is something that's come up in my space in my life a lot recently. Mm-hmm. It was mentioned on another episode, is talking about like my relationship history over the last couple of years, and something that's like really come up in my space and it really like hit home for me this year when I started the year with 75 Hard. for the mental aspects. It had nothing to do
Yeah.
with the diet. Like I've dieted before. I
Mhm.
know how to do it. I don't need the program. And I believe that I went into the program right with the right mindset of like, what am I trying to get out of this? I'm trying to get the mental aspect.
Yeah.
And it really proved the point. And now it's like I've almost had it concreted for me over and over again with conversations, and more so talking about relationships is how important is your foundation of fitness in how you show up as a husband, how you show up as a father, how you show up as a son, a brother, as a kid to your parents, right? As a child.
Yeah. Fitness is the foundation is the pinnacle peak to every person's personal development journey.
Yeah.
If you want to be a better wife, if you want to be a better mom, if you want to be a better sibling, if you want to be a better anything, employee, start with fitness.
Yeah.
Get in shape. Getting in shape will teach you so much. It teaches you things about money. It teaches you things about relationships. It teaches you things about, obviously, discipline, everything. I have built my whole foundation of my whole life off of fitness, off of going into and stepping foot into a gym and lifting weights. It's time that I can cultivate my mindset and my perspective and the stories, the beliefs, the rules, and the laws that I have in my life alone.
Yep.
And it's a place that I can push. And it's a place that I can get pushed past pain barriers.
Mm-hmm.
We all go through pain, but a lot of people run from pain.
Yeah.
And in the gym, you can run from the pain and you can stop when it starts to get the sensational pain in your arm, or your fucking arm's not going to fall off if you keep lifting, nor are your legs going to fall off.
Yeah.
You're going to push and you're going to build muscle and you're going to see that result in the mirror.
Yep.
Fitness is everything. And if any of you listen to this, and if you don't do anything fitness related, you don't move, and your life is in a dark place right now, you need to find something that you enjoy. I don't care if it's swimming. I don't care if it's hiking or paragliding or whatever.
Whatever gets you moving your body.
Yeah. Taekwondo, like do something fitness related and do it every day.
Yeah.
Find something. Okay. Maybe you can't go paragliding, or maybe you can't go golfing every single day.
Right.
Because maybe you don't have the funds to do that or whatever, but start with something. Start by walking, start by stretching. I don't know. Just do something. Got to do something.
To wrap up that section, and like that question is like, I asked Jeff this question and we brought this up, is the reason is like, especially for women, they put themselves last.
Yeah, absolutely. They are envious for that.
Where, as realistically, and so many women over the years, as a coach to women, I've heard is, I lost myself in that relationship, or I've lost myself as a mom,
or I don't know who I am.
And it's because you don't prioritize yourself in any way, shape, or form. And I think the best place to start prioritizing yourself is in your health and fitness. And that is the foundational piece.
Yes. Yeah. 100%. It's like the motor.
Because like what I talked to the other guest about is, I'm seeing a reoccurring theme. The most successful marriages that I've witnessed is marriages where both spouses prioritize themselves.
Yes.
And then in turn,
yes,
they are able to pour from full cups into one another.
Yep. And both of them they're prioritizing fitness. They're either going to the gym in the morning or they're doing some kind of activity in the morning, always.
And they're independently happy.
Yes.
And then they independently happy come together to form a union. And it's a blessing for everyone around them.
Yes.
Right? Family, friends, and otherwise.
Yep. Absolutely. 100%. Because they're not relying on other people to make them happy.
The external validation, the external events and things that they're going to, right?
Yeah.
It's such a crucial piece. And we just see it all the time. And just leads to this bitterness, this unhappiness, and this feeling of like I've lost myself.
And a lot of resentment towards themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of resentment. I want to touch on the last topic about the three things.
Yeah.
Doing the boring work. The boring work is always going to work for our health. It's going to work for your marriage. It's going to work in your career, and it's going to work on your mindset. Just do the mundane work over and over and over and over again, and learn to love it, because it just moves you forward. Walking. You walk every day.
Every day.
I don't walk every day, but I walk most days. Lifting. Like I do the same lifts for 6 or 7 months. You know, eating the same meals. Getting up every day at just about the same time, relative the same time. Yeah. Sundays I sleep in a little bit to sleep in with my wife, but not much. You know, Sundays I'm still up at 5:30 or 6 because I'm so used to waking up at anywhere from 2:45 to 4. You know, but it's just like women's brains already go 1,000,000 miles an hour. Why put more work onto it? Do the same shit. You want structure. Well, there you go. There's structure. You wake up at the same time. You do the same workouts for, 5 days a week or 3 to 6 days a week, whatever it is that you want to work out. You could do workouts 3 days a week if you really wanted to and be in shape. And then you could walk the other days.
Yep.
Eat at least 3 to 5 times a day. Drink your damn water. Take electrolytes. Spend some spiritual time in the morning, whatever it is that you believe in. If it, just find time that you can have some solitary time in the morning to calm down that chaotic fucking busy brain of yours and do it over and over again.
Yeah.
That's your purpose.
Yeah.
That's self-mastery right there. And some of you are like, I don't know what my purpose is. That right there is your purpose, because that is something that no one can strip away from you. Your house, your car, your kids, your husband, your boyfriend, that shit can be taken away at any time.
Yep.
Okay? Your kids and your relationships are not purposes. They're not. They might be a why of why you do your purpose or why you fulfill your purpose, but your purpose needs to be self-mastery, and mastering self through health, through mindset, and through just cultivating a better you.
Yeah.
Just do it every day, and literally until the day of your funeral. You need to literally do the same things over and over that you enjoy.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know about this purpose work.
And I'll say, like, sometimes when you're first getting started, you won't enjoy it.
No, because you're like, oh my God, this is new. This is new and this is a lot. Yes, it is a lot. It is. Yeah.
But the more you stack those wins, day over day, month over month, year over year.
Yeah, it just compounds.
It compounds into belief.
Because you've done it so many times.
In yourself.
Yeah.
And then it becomes like, it's just like, it's so ingrained in you. Is like when you go on that vacation, I have these conversations with my female clients all the time. Like, especially as we start to work on their gut health, we start to like repair those things.
What do I do? What do I do on vacation? I have vacation coming up. What do I do? Is that what you're going to say?
I get some of that, but I also like recently, like someone that I'm thinking of, right? Like she used the GLP-1 and she lost 70 pounds. And 2 to 3 months outside of the GLP-1, she had maintained it within about 8 to 10 pounds.
Okay, cool.
And then all of a sudden there was like a little bit of stress and this, that, and the other thing, and kind of got a little slippery, and that doubled. It turned into 16. And that was when she kind of had that oh crap moment and was like, she reached out and she's like, hey, like, I think I really need one-to-one coaching. Like, I want to work with you. I've watched, you stack up proof of like, hey, you work with people like me. You've gotten people like me results. And for me, in my specialty, like I work with a lot of correcting gut health. And it was very obvious that the GLP-1 had suppressed her appetite enough to get her to lose weight with an overgrowth of opportunistic bad bacteria in her gut. which for anyone out there, if you are dealing with SIBO or H. pylori or candida and you're struggling on your weight loss journey, that's completely normal. It's very challenging because there's a lot of, it can mess with hunger cues, signaling, and hormones, making weight loss with it that much harder. So in her case, she's using a GLP-1, she's dropping the weight because those hunger cues are being suppressed a lot. Then she comes off of it and she's trying to maintain it and it's not quite working as well because all of a sudden now the bacteria, it's proliferating. She's getting weird hunger cues and stress and this things and that, right? And all of a sudden she's back up 16 pounds. So we start working on her gut health. We put her actually at like maintenance calories that are actually keeping her fueled, allowing her to train hard, allowing her to have good energy, allowing her to get good quality sleep. And recently she messages me and she goes, I bought this like, healthy treat, right? Like it was like for her, she has some gluten issues. It was like a gluten-free something donut. And she tried it and she was like, man, that really just wasn't worth it. Like she didn't enjoy it as much. She'd rather eat the healthy, nutrient-dense foods that fuel her, that allow her to perform at her best. She's continuing to get stronger. She's continuing to see her gut health improve. And it's like, my whole point of like going off on that tangent is like, it's like when you then go on vacation, you really start to realize like what's actually important to me. 100%. What's actually important to me is like, hey, my morning walks with my husband, they're very meaningful to me. And it kills multiple birds with one stone, right? Like it's, I'm active. I'm taking care of my body. I'm moving. I'm getting morning sunlight and I'm spending time with my significant other in a healthy way.
Absolutely.
And then they prioritize protein. They prioritize fruits and vegetables. And it's not to say that on vacation that you can't have a couple cocktails. It's not to say that you can't have the creme brulee after dinner, because by all means, please do. I'm certainly going to.
Absolutely. We are too.
However, if you look at the scope of your day, when you've taken control of your health, you're eating at maintenance calories, you're far less tempted to go off the rails and like binge drink and have 10 to 12 cocktails because you know the consequences, you 100%. Know what it feels like. You're far less likely to eat meals completely void of protein because again, you know what it's going to feel like. You're going to have this like sugar high and then you're going to crash. You start to feel so good, you never want to go back to feeling the way you feel.
Because you're more aware.
Yeah, because so many people right now, and I think you can agree with this, like how many women, how many clients come to you that are so blissfully naive of like how crappy they actually feel, that when they start doing the things that we're working on them with, they're like, oh my God, like I didn't know life could be like this again.
Honestly, I have to really ask some serious questions. And I think you know this, being a coach, is like when I'm on a call with someone, not a lot of women or men have woken up until they get on the call with me. And getting the questions asked of like, truly, hey, how do you feel? Oh, not great. What does that mean? Like, what do you mean not great? And I would say 9 times out of 10, when I'm on a call with a woman, they cry because they're just like, man, I really have been abusing my body. I really like don't take care of it. I really have not woken up to this until today and realized like what I've actually been doing. And when they can get to that point where they actually tell the truth and they actually stop lying to themselves and stop being delusional, stop being delusional and being like, well, this is okay. No, it's not okay. You need to stop eating like that. You need to stop going and getting the pumpkin cookie crumble frappuccino at Starbucks. That's like almost 1,000 calories. Like you need to stop doing that shit because it's not. Every once in a while, if you go get it, yeah, maybe, but maybe just get a grande instead of a venti. You know what I mean? You can still have that stuff, but man, being aware of what things make you feel like and also being aware of what healthy things make you feel like. I'm telling you that the healthy things are going to be much greater and much more impactful and positive for your life than constantly shoving your face with foods that are just getting you this high, this quick high and this quick feeling for this quick moment, but long term are just completely messing up your mental health and your physical health.
Yeah. Which really sparked an idea, and you're going to get a kick out of this, is like, because so often, what do we see plastered all over social media? My pumpkin spice latte.
I just saw it today. Literally, a venti pumpkin cookie crumble frappuccino. I'm like, holy shit, that thing has to have at least 900 calories in it.
Right. And it's hashtag self-care.
100%. Oh, it's self-care day on Wednesday. I'm gonna go to the gym, and then I'm gonna get this, and then I'm gonna go get a massage. As you're in the massage, holding a fart that you're gonna potentially shit your pants with because of that frappuccino. Yeah. And then later you have to go home and you don't want to eat anything. And
because you're bloated. Exactly.
And then you have this sugar dive or this energy dive. And then you Uber Eats Panda Express and get a 1,400 calorie orange chicken. Actually, you do double orange chicken. You get two fried rice and then lo mein.
Yeah.
And then you get 2 pork egg rolls. Yeah. And then you ask for 3 extra fortune cookies. That's your day.
Yeah.
And then you go to bed. And you completely smell up the bedroom too, because you're just leaking all night out of your asshole because you're farting.
And you wake up the next morning
and you're like, what the fuck did I do?
Yeah. And you wake up the next morning and it's self-care day again because you feel like crap.
Yeah. Oh, no. It's detox day. That's what it is.
Oh, yes, that's right.
It's detox day. That's what it is.
That's right.
I'm going to detox. And then they'll put their hot water with their, hey, ladies, I am not making fun of you, but this is reality. And this is the toxic bullshit that you do. They have their coffee, their tea, say, oh, a detox day. And they even put it on Instagram.
Yeah.
Detox day.
Yeah.
They'll do their mask and everything and just go through the whole day, sauna, everything. Which I love that. I love that you do that. But it's the stuff that you did the day before
that triggered the
I don't give a shit that you do it. If you want to do it, cool. Go ahead and do it. But until you realize that you felt like shit all day and your whole house smelled like methane, that's disgusting. I've been there. I've been to that place where I've just eaten shit over and over and over again, where it doesn't make me feel good and I stink and I'm farting all day and I'm miserable. I'm inflamed. And then, of course, you step on the scale the next day, too, just because you just want to see.
Yeah.
And then you completely fuck up your mental health.
And then, I gained 8 pounds.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah. And it's only Wednesday.
Yeah.
Not a good look, ladies. Change it up.
Yeah. I mean, when in reality, right, like having a cup of tea, going for a morning walk, getting a massage, like that is... It is actual self-care.
Yes. But it's when you're struggling with life and kids and your husband or boyfriend's he's just being a douche that day. I've been one of those douches where I just piss off my wife.
Yeah.
And that's when everything, you need to just take a step back and you need to do all that stuff, that detox stuff, the walking, the tea, do all that stuff on your bad days too. Because those are the days that are going to impact you the greatest.
Rather than hashtag self-care, pumpkin spice, the Chinese food. Because realistically, when we look at that stuff, like the pumpkin spice, like I'm treating myself, I deserve it. The Chinese food, are those things okay from time to time? Yes. But it's like when you compound it and you just had a self-care day 3 days ago.
Yeah, you don't need another one.
It's no longer self-care.
No.
You're
abusing your body.
You're abusing your body, but you're numbing out.
100%.
You're escaping in food. You're escaping in the 2 bottles of wine that you drank last night.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yep.
And what are you avoiding?
You're avoiding sitting with the pain.
And the emotions and
everything. You're like, I'm so stressed. I'm going to open a bottle of wine, or I'm so stressed. I need to Uber eat something because I just can't cook. No, you can cook. You're not paralyzed. Like you can still cook food, but your mind is so wrapped up in emotions and sadness and pissed offness. It's just like, just go sit outside for a moment and just take like 10 deep breaths. Shut your eyes, Put some rain, go to YouTube, turn some rain sounds on YouTube and just take 10 deep breaths and just sit there and for 10 minutes and just breathe. Mm-hmm. Just breathe. Do that.
Yeah.
And then make conscious decisions that are going to benefit you versus just make you okay for the time being. And then you have to go to bed and the next morning you're like, why the fuck did I order $34 in Panda Express and crumble cookie? Like, what the fuck?
Shifting gears into the next topic, and I think this can kind of all correlate because honestly, I don't know the full story. Mm-hmm. A year ago, your life changed.
Yes.
Completely.
Yeah, very much so.
A piece of content goes mega viral.
Yes. Turbo viral.
You're getting just real, raw, and honest with a client, and you say, commit or quit.
Yep. What the fuck do you want? That's what I said.
Yeah. What was, we don't need to talk the details of who it was or whatever, but it is a female client.
Yep.
What was going on at that point to get, what had happened to get to that point?
She wasn't adhering to her program. Yeah. And I was getting pissed off.
Right.
Because she was pissed off.
Yeah.
She was upset. I'm just not seeing results. I'm like, well, you're not committing.
Right.
And you haven't been committing. And then she got attitude with me. So that's when that's when I brought the heat and I brought the fire. And ladies, sometimes you need a coach that brings fire. Like you don't need a coach that coddles you. Okay. You don't. You need a coach that does pat you on the back when you do something, but maybe after you've done it for 12 weeks. Like you got to have someone that lights a fire underneath your ass.
Right.
None of you should have coaches that accommodate to your shortcomings. If you do, you need to get rid of them because they are not helping you. So yeah,
if you're not, we've talked about this already, right? If you're not consistent, if you haven't executed something for a minimum of 2 weeks, as a coach, why do I make changes when you couldn't, like, if the plan is completely not followable due to whatever circumstances genuinely, cool, I'll make some changes.
100%.
But if you are just all over the board
and then want to change
and you're like, well, we should lower calories. Well, you haven't been able to stick to the calories that you're eating right now. So why are we going to make a change?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not going to help.
No, it won't.
It's not going to make you more consistent, more adherent.
Yeah.
If anything, it's going to make things worse.
Adherence goes everything to do with consistency. And honestly, like all you ladies that are listening to this or anyone that's listening to this, like just apply what your coach gives you. Just apply it. You don't need anything more. So stop looking on Instagram for more. Like, fuck. You don't need any, like, just follow what you have.
Yeah.
We are making this as you come to us for a solution
and a map.
You see, you're coming in the boat and you want to go out in the ocean and we are giving you the oars. Okay. Use both of them. Okay. Like you don't need to put the oars down and use your fucking hands or the life jacket. Just use the damn oars and the map that we give you. Like people don't understand this sometimes. Going back to the piece of content and the woman I was coaching, she wasn't adhering. She hadn't been adhering for 5 weeks and I was over it. I'm like, dude, like I don't fuck with people like this. I just don't. And I didn't mean to make it about me, but she's an elite client. And if you're an elite client, you will be elite. And if you're not being elite, I'm going to hold you to an elite level.
Right.
And the elite level was do your shit. Track your, all I wanted was her to track her food.
Right.
Because she's like, well, I'm doing all my workouts. Well, yeah, that's easy part. I'm doing all my walking, my workouts. Okay, cool. But what about your food? Well, there's 500 calories tracked here. There's 1,000 calories tracked here. There's 2 good days. And then there's this and that. I'm like, no, like we need to be adherent. You don't have to be 100% adherent either. Like you don't. No. At least 70. If you can be at least 70%, you are good. You're golden.
Yeah.
Because that 70% will make up for your errors. but just look at the month. Like if you can be good at least 5 to 6 days a week, have a Sunday where you either have a non-track day, but you just eat consistently with how you eat, you're good.
Yep.
Like this doesn't have to be this doesn't have to be the perfect game. There's no such thing as perfect.
No. A great example of this, right? So like Jeff just broke it down. 5 to 6 days good Sunday, wake up, have your normal breakfast, have a relatively normal lunch. Maybe you
guys do want to get Uber Eats. Okay, that's cool, but be aware of what you're ordering. Maybe you want to have some pizza. Great, get your protein in the morning. Have a protein shake before the pizza comes, or have protein with the pizza. I don't care. Eat your normal protein, but eat that first. Maybe have some veggies, so you don't eat 7 slices. You only eat 3, and you're like, okay, cool, I'm good.
Yeah,
just an idea.
Intentional Health for Women podcast. How I'm choosing to wrap up these episodes now is, how are you choosing to live your life intentionally in this current season?
Are you asking me that question?
Yeah.
How am I choosing to live my life intentionally in this season? Well, on the fitness aspect is that I am intentionally just making sure that I hit my goals every single day when it comes to my wake up times, my tracking my macros, getting my lifts in, getting my movement in. If it's, I'm getting on the stair mill a little bit because I have some plans, but doing that and just sweating every single day. So I'm intentionally sweating every single day.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing with my fitness, and obviously my nutrition. I'm being intentional with my family. I'm being very intentional with the messages that I send my wife every single day. I'm being intentional about the messages that I send my son several times a week.
Yep.
I'm making sure I'm intentional with kissing and loving on my daughter every single day and like smiling with her and playing with her, like being intentional, being off my phone, being intentional with my mindset. Every morning I spend time with God. I'm spending time in either verses in the Bible or just spending alone time and just coming and being alone spiritually so that I can prepare myself for war every single day. Because that's what it is. It's war every single day. Really affirming my future self, journaling that, spending time in gratitude. And then the fourth piece is just being intentional with my business and with my clients and how I show up on social media and putting out more value. I want to make sure that, I've really started to really go a lot more narrower in my content with my business so that I can really focus on parents that are out of shape, that want to create a fit, healthy example for their children.
Yeah.
Because you guys don't understand, but the society we live in now is much different than it was many, many years ago. And your kids are watching everything that you do, everything that you say, everything that you eat, from you being on your phone versus reading a book, from what you watch. And that's something that I am really trying to just narrow down with my content and my business, is really just try to help parents with their health. And then all the mindset, all the like spiritual mindset, like life coaching stuff, that stuff will come, but really just getting intentional with really focusing on your health, really focusing on movement. And that's it.
Because it's like we've talked about throughout this episode, it's the same thing with being a good spouse.
Yeah.
And is your health and fitness is the foundation of being a good parent and being able to lead your family.
100%. It is. Like, that is the truth.
Because this, I was 400 pounds.
Yeah.
My parents knew and tried to teach me all the right things. Eat your protein, eat your veggies.
Yes.
Work out. But they didn't lead by example.
Yeah, which is bullshit.
And so therefore, I didn't do it.
Yeah, and that's the worst. If you're one of those people that aren't, like, you're sane but you're not leading, like, fuck off. Like, seriously, fuck off. Like, I was one of those people.
Yeah.
I'd put stuff out on social media and I wasn't doing that.
Right.
And I'm like, holy shit. Like, I had this huge revelation. I'm like, I'm being a fake ass dude right now. Yeah. I'm telling people to do things, but I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And like you guys will have that realization with yourself.
Right.
But if you are telling your kids to stay off your phone, if you're telling your kids to eat healthy and you are not doing it, you're an asshole. Like seriously. It's horrible.
Yeah.
And then we won't take you seriously.
Yeah.
As kids.
No.
At all. In anything.
Yeah.
So if your kids are misbehaving, I want you to look at the pattern of things that you do on a daily basis. And if you're telling your kids not to do something that you're doing, you need to take a hard look in the mirror.
Yep. Mm-hmm. With that being said, man, thank you so much for joining me today.
My pleasure. It was an honor to be here.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
Mm-hmm.